Oh, hella beard, it's your boy Big Beard B, and we back for another edition of Big Beard Business. If you follow me on Instagram at Big Beard Business, then you could possibly be a part of today's video. As you can see from the title, today we have 10 ultra sexy, intoxicating date night fragrances for men. Listen, I put a poll up on my Instagram stories, and some of you, about 250 of you, participated in answering the question. And the question was, what are you choosing for date night as it pertains to fragrances? So today's list was curated by you, the people. So let's hop into it. First up, we have a fragrance that over the years I've talked about really enjoying, and I think a lot of you out there do as well, obviously, as it's made today's list. This fragrance comes from Montale, and this one is Montale's Intense Cafe. Now, Intense Cafe is this gourmand-based fragrance, so almost gourmandish. You have that coffee base in this piece here. It's creamy, it's vanilla, and this thing really works as an enjoyable scent. Cool thing about this one here is it works for the fall and winter as a fragrance that has some power, has some depth, and it also is one that is smooth in my personal opinion. I wore this one really not too long ago. I want to say about maybe a week and a half ago, and just resprayed this thing, and this is one that I enjoy. Whether it's Intense Cafe or the newer version of this scent, they both really rock. So this is a fragrance that is sexy, seductive, and one that can definitely work for you on date night, and I do not disagree with this selection by the people, Intense Cafe from the house of Montale. Next up, we have a fragrance that has become a staple within FragCom. If you are not new to fragrances and you're actively part of the fragrance community, you've likely heard of this fragrance, whether on my channel or any of the other channels out there, specifically when it comes to date night situations or those close encounters. This one comes from YSL, and this one is none other than YSL Tuxedo. Now, you do not have to wear a tuxedo to wear tuxedo, if you get my drift there, but this one here is definitely one that you can put on when it comes to those close encounter situations, and you can definitely be dressed casually. This one is an oriental spicy fragrance. You have some cardamom, you have some black spices here, but really what you have with this fragrance is something that is sexy, it's intoxicating, and it gets the job done. YSL standout fragrance from this one, and this also is not one that is readily available in your standard department store. So if you haven't come across this one, it means you're shopping in places like Dillard's or Macy's or something like that. You need to step it up a notch when you're looking for a fragrance like this and go into like a Neiman Marcus or Saks or something, and it's not going to be available at all of those locations, but it will be available at some, or obviously you have places online, which I can have linked down below for you. But Tuxedo from the house of YSL is definitely a date night monster. This next choice is one that I am a big fan of, and I've mentioned this one on a few lists that are similar to this one but different. This fragrance here is one that is exotic, it's powerful, it's rich, and it is also sophisticated. This one comes from the house of Parfums de Marly, and this one is Wojan. Now, Wojan or Wojan, whichever one you choose to call it, is a nice, spicy, gourmand scent. This one is heavy in cinnamon. It also has honey here with some vanilla. All in all, you have some benzoin in this thing that helps bring some warmth and creaminess to this scent, and it's one that I think a lot of people out there will enjoy. This is not one that gets the most love from the house as you traditionally get Harrods, Layton's, etc., where a lot of the attention goes. But to me, this one is an understated gem within the collection, especially if you're looking for a super sexy, ultra seductive scent for those date night close encounter situations. Wojan is definitely the way to go. So here you have it on this list today, Wojan from the house of Parfums de Marly. Now, our last fragrance had benzoin and it also had honey, and this next one does as well, but it's done in a completely different way. I gave this one a 10 out of 10. It's an official rating, and this fragrance is just enjoyable. This one comes from MFK, and this one is Grand Soir. Now the juice on this one even shows that this one is enticing. It's really a sophisticated scent that just teeters the line of sexy, sophisticated, ultra seductive, and one that definitely gets the people, and people, I mean men and women, going on this scent. If you are a woman, you can wear this one, and I think that this one is going to be a nice fragrance for you to wear. And as a guy, wearing this fragrance out is definitely going to perk up the ladies a bit more and get their noses on you. This fragrance here is super, super nice for that. And again, the name in itself, Grand Soir, that ultimate grand night, is definitely something that you're going to get with this scent here. So aptly named, right in line with what this fragrance does. Solid choice from you guys and girls out there. Grand Soir from the house of MFK. Now, speaking of MFK, if you have not had an opportunity to check out my fragrance line yet, I do have 2 fragrances in there from Francis Kirk John that I think a lot of you will enjoy. Exalt Nuit and also Idola were creations with that master perfumer. Within that, I also had 3 additional fragrances out there that I think a lot of you have come to tell me that you think you will like as you begin to get your nose on them. The fragrances are again shipping soon. Depending on when you're watching this video, the pre-order sale or the extended pre-order sale is still going on, where you can get your fragrances for up to 45% off. This isn't a hard sale. I have a link listed down below if you care to check it out. But since I'm thinking of Francis Kirk John, I figured I would let you know. Now back to our regularly scheduled programming. Now this next fragrance out there is for those of you out there who are pleasure seekers. This fragrance hails from the Hedonist collection from Initio, and this one is Initio's Rehab. This is also a solid choice and definitely one of the ones that I would have put on the list if this was a list completely crafted by your boy. This fragrance has done wonders for me over the years, and I think it will do wonders for you as well. This fragrance is one that has patchouli. You have some smokiness in this fragrance, you have some spiciness, and this fragrance just comes together as a masterful scent in my humble opinion. I've talked about getting compliments on this fragrance from day one of wearing this scent. I got nothing but compliments with this one, and this one is probably one of the fragrances you can put in your collection and really help you in terms of compliments if you think that has been a problem for you. But if you're looking for something that's ultra sexy, ultra seductive, and ultra intoxicating, this is definitely one that you should be having in your collection. Initio's Rehab, well, you might need rehab. Now in its natural form, this next fragrance is known as an aphrodisiac. This one can increase your sexual desires and increase your libido. This fragrance is from Montale, and this one is Honey Aoud. Now this one to me is a super sexy scent, and this is another solid choice that you guys and girls out there have decided to run with. This fragrance is a unisex scent, so to me this one is going to really teeter the fence and really depend on the wearer in terms of how this fragrance is going to break down, but nonetheless this fragrance is going to be sexy. This fragrance has vanilla, cinnamon, amber. You also have some leather in this scent. All of these things together come together well in a fragrance that is really done well. You could say this one leans on a gourmand take or gourmand-esque flow. I don't find it to be super gourmandish, but it's definitely there. This fragrance doesn't have that overwhelming honey feel to it as some fragrances can as they begin to add honey into it. This one is done just right. You have the perfect mixture, in my humble opinion, of that honey and vanilla within this scent. Definitely a standout fragrance from the house and one of the key fragrances that people are going to refer you to if you're looking to explore this fragrance house. So again, if you're looking for one that is really primed to do well for those close encounter situations and also really does well in fall winter mode, Honey Aoud from the house of Montale is definitely a fragrance you should try out. This next fragrance is one that I gave a 10 out of 10 in its official review. I know I also talked about Grand Soir getting a 10 out of 10 from your boy, but a lot of you out there have opted to choose this fragrance as well. And I always find that this one has two sides of the coin here. When I talk about it, you have an abundance of people who really enjoy this fragrance, but then you have some who just say, nah, B, it ain't it. But a lot of you hit me up and say, hey, this is definitely one that I'm reaching for on date night. And this fragrance comes from Ha ha ha! Your people over at Maison Margiela, and this one is by the Fireplace. Roasted chestnut, open fire, everything that you need. This one is warm for a fall, winter day, cozy, cuddle buddy action, sexy, smooth, seductive, and obviously this one is smoky. It really checks all of those boxes in my personal opinion. If you're looking for a fragrance that is going to draw that person in a bit closer to you, it has this nice scent bubble and profile around it that I personally find to be enjoyable. And if you go in any of these sites like Soir or any place that this fragrance is sold and you have open form for reviews, you're gonna see a ton of people there, whether it's men or women, talking about how this fragrance has either helped them out, or two, how much they enjoy smelling this one on their significant other or the opposite sex or same sex, depending on what you get into. All in all, great fragrance, one that I often recommend, and it's a pleasure to see that you guys and girls out there are recommending this fragrance by the Fireplace from Maison Margiela. Now we're down to the final 3 fragrances and the most voted fragrances on today's list. And this next one, that was one that I was kind of surprised to see on the list, but not at the same time. This is one that I really stand behind, and I also gave this one a 10 out of 10, which is, I've had 3 10 out of 10s on today's list, and I haven't given a lot of 10 out of 10s out there, but so you guys and girls out there are on the same trend as me. One that I find to be ultra super sexy and intoxicating, and one that it seems that you guys and girls out there do as well. This one comes from Kilian. This one is Kilian's Black Phantom. So you may be thinking, yo, B, why are you surprised to see that one on the list? It's because, like by the Fireplace, I often get some people out there when I talk about this one, it's like, nope, not it, B. But I guess if you follow me, right, and we talk about this fragrance a lot, you might have it and you might feel just as I do about this fragrance. Typically, our noses tend to align if we are, in this thing together. And this fragrance is one that I am super, super excited to have within the collection. Now, I do know that some of you hit me up like, yo, B, did they change the color on the bottle? Yes, they did. This is gold. This is gold now. So look forward to that if you're looking for this thing out and about. Otherwise, you're going to see the legacy, or I'll call it, or the vintage, as we like to call it here, the vintage display on this one. All in all, super solid fragrance. It's coffee, it's rum, it's sandalwood, it's vetiver, it's amazing. 10 out of 10 in my book. Black Phantom from Kilian. Number 2 on this list is one that's described as this amber-drenched woody fragrance that's super sensual and good for close encounter situations. Has a hint of spice to it, and it's made by the master of seduction, Tom Ford, and this is Tom Ford's Noir Extreme for men. There is a Noir Extreme for women out there, but this one here is for the men. This is a nice fragrance in my personal opinion. This one has made a ton of lists out there, not including my own, but I've talked about this one making lists for women, saying that this is a fragrance that they enjoy. Now, I know sometimes there have been videos out there, women saying they do not enjoy this fragrance, and just like any other fragrance, whether it's color, or and that's not a fragrance, but we're just talking about colors, clothes, cars, etc. It's really on the person. What is their personal preference? But you have a good chance of winning when you wear a fragrance like this one here. This is one of the standout fragrances from the house of Tom Ford in my personal opinion. If you're looking for seductive scents, if you're looking for something that is going to teeter the line where you smell masculine, but this one could go away for a woman if she chose to wear this fragrance. This one is one that's going to draw them in closer to you and also garner you compliments. Noir Extreme is definitely a standout fragrance. Now, this is part of the signature collection, so it's not as expensive as the private line, and that's a added bonus. So make sure you get your nose on this one. Try it out. If you're into those warm, spicy scents, then this has everything that you need. This one's definitely cozy. That amber within this one makes it definitely cozy. I enjoy it. Sweetness is in there, but it's not overtly sweet, so don't worry if that's not your thing. Try that one out. Tom Ford Noir Extreme from my buddy old pal, Tom Ford. And then the final fragrance on today's list, and we could call it number 1 because it had the most responses out there in terms of, hey, this is the fragrance I'm going to wear for a number of reasons, whether it's just I enjoy it, my wife likes this one, etc., or they just like to get dressed up when they wear out for date nights, etc. I actually just talked about this fragrance with someone that I know. He was telling me like, hey, I went out on this date and I was trying to decide what fragrance to wear, and I wore a Gucci Guilty. And I was like, okay, that's cool, that's a nice fragrance. And he was going through the fragrances that he had, and he was like, you know, I was going to wear the fragrance I'm about to talk about, but I saved that for, you know, when it's that exclusive time. I'm like, okay. But some of us wear this fragrance casually. This fragrance is one that a lot of you out there said, hey, date night, haha, raising my hand, I'm rocking this fragrance. And this one comes from people over at Creed, and this one is Creed Aventus. All right, now I recently wore Creed Aventus cologne a few days ago. I sprayed it on my hoodie, but Creed Aventus is a solid scent, and one that a lot of you out there, I don't need to talk about this fragrance. This one is a bergamot, it's pineapple, it's in your face, it's there, it's smoky, it's fruity, it's all of the above. This fragrance is now featured in a black bottle for its 10-year anniversary. I do not have that one, so I guess I'll have to go out and buy it. But solid fragrance in my opinion, man. I gave that fragrance a 10 out of 10 as well. Wow. You guys and girls out there are really on point with these fragrances. All of these fragrances are ones that I would choose for one reason or another. And I definitely feel that all of these fragrances out there fit today's video profile. So good job. I appreciate the participation. You guys and girls out there did not know you were participating in this, but you did participate in my Instagram polls, and I just brought it to the light so people can see what the people are rocking out there. So there you have it. As always, I'm your boy Big Beard Beat. Hit the like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend that we are back again with 10 fragrances that are ultra sexy, seductive, and intoxicating for date night or something of that nature. Listen, rock these fragrances when you're going out. Do what I need you to do. You already know what it is. Let's hit the goddamn